So do you prefer fragging on Lucio, or do you like speeding your tank around, or?
Um, I like speeding my tank around a decent bit, but I try to find frags where I can get them.
Okay. Okay, so Lucio into his Sigma comp, kind of ass, but it is what it is. So typically when
I
you're,
understand.
yeah, if you're like that's fine. Like if he's going Sigma, that's his choice to go Sigma. It's same as it's your choice to go Lucio, but your playstyle is going to be far different when you've got a Sigma. Basically, the only time you should ever be speeding your Sigma around ever is if he's going to die unless you go in and save him, or like he's coming back from spawn, or like your team basically just wipe people and you're chasing, like say you're chasing someone down that's like a
Yeah.
dangerous target, like a bastion that you don't want to go 1v1, so you'd like bring your tank with you to help you. That's kind of the only time
Yeah.
you're ever really bringing your Sigma anywhere. So usually when you're with a Sigma, you can kind of just say like fuck the Sigma, I'm just gonna like go do my own thing, right? Which is kind of what I hope you do. But like if this is a Rhine, then obviously you got to play it differently, right? You got to, because
Yeah.
you want to speed your Rhine around basically all the time, unless like the small use cases where you don't.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm curious why your Sigma is playing like this, but it is silver. So is there any reason
Yeah.
why you're standing here in particular, or?
Um, no, I wasn't. I wasn't really thinking about where I was standing at the time.
Okay, so can you tell me exactly, like, if looking at it from like the top down perspective now, because obviously you had already played this game. Is there
Yeah.
anything you think you should be doing instead of doing what you're currently doing?
Um, I shouldn't be playing where I am, because playing where I am, I'm kind of in pretty good sidelines of the other Sigma, and that's putting me in danger that I don't need to be in, I think.
Okay,
But
yeah, that's
aside
true.
from that,
Go on.
I think
What
I could
else?
probably go. I think I could probably be going in for some picks. I think I could be going in for some picks, but
Okay,
aside from that,
who would you
I
fight?
think that,
If you wanted to fight someone
would
on
I
this enemy
fight?
team, who would you fight?
I think I'd go for the Kiri. Is that Kiri? It's a
That
little
is
hard to see from
yeah,
the
it's
vantage point.
yes, because it's 720p. It's, I know it sucks, but yeah. So
Yeah.
right now, actually, I think this might just be one of those games where so far at the start of it is saying that picking Lucio this game is borderline trolling. Obviously, that doesn't matter. If you want to play Lucio, you play Lucio regardless. However, there is no one on the enemy team that you can really duel on your own. Every single person on the enemy team beats you in the duel. And your team, you don't combo with anyone at all. Like, you're not going to be speeding around a Kree or a Torb or an Alari or a Sigma. So you've got no
Yeah.
one to fight, and you have no one to support. So it's games like these where playing Lucio is going to be really difficult. But every team has a weakness. So when they've got Kiri, Ilari, Farah, Sigma, and Soldier, and you've obviously got the comp that you've got, and you can't really touch their comp, and you don't really have a lot of interaction with your own comp, is there anything that you think you should just default to doing that is generally useful that anyone could do, but because in this circumstance you're obviously affected by the team comps, that you say, I'm just going to ignore certain aspects of the comp and just do something that is generally considered useful?
Destroy a Lari turret.
Exactly. So in this situation where your team isn't really that good for you, and the enemy team doesn't offer a lot of duel potential, and they have an Alari, you should spend the entire game breaking the pylon, because it's literally all you can do, right? Other than like, going
Yeah.
for these kind of low HP targets, like this soldier is kind of inting, but he's got his Alari, the pylon, and the carry here to save him. If you were to just look at what's happening, you're like, okay, it's a Sigma, I can't fight him. It's a soldier, I can't fight him. That's a carry, I can't fight him. The Alari and the Farah, I obviously can't fight them. And I've got a Sigma, so I'm not really going to be speeding him around. What can I do? Well, the first thing is you got to break the deployables. So you just instantly flank, find the turret, break it, go back to your team. And whenever you hear the sound cue of her throwing it down or placing it or you see it or anything, it's your job and your job alone to go and to break it, because it saves your team so much time, that because you're not going to really be doing anything anyway against a team like this. So you kind of have to break the pylon. See what else you get up to. Okay, I don't like the speed amp here. You could have just escaped around the corner with your speed. It's like if you had amped speed here, like you're not really in a lot of danger. Only like the Sigma can see you. If you just amp the speed here and just run around the corner, you're way safer, because by the time you get the heal on and the amp, like if the Sigma was any good, it would have killed you anyway. So you may as well just go for the speed out and then go heal somewhere safer, because when you commit to the heal like this, you're banking on the fact that they're gonna miss, okay? Because when you speed out, you lower the amount of time they have to kill you because you're gone. But if you commit to the heal, they can just burst you through the heal because you're basically stationary with how slow you're moving. So if you just commit to the speed, like your speed is going to save you a lot more than your heal is, because your heal is not super useful. It's like 10 HP, whatever, like per tick. It's really bad. Like you're gonna die in a lot of cases if you commit to the amp heal. Plus, if you're speeding, if you're amping the speed, it's not just helping you. Like in this instance, the amping the heal literally only helps you. Like no one else needs this. But if you amp the speed, it helps whoever's in your range to go and do whatever they want to do a little faster. Plus, it saves you when the heal kind of, in this case, didn't really do anything for you. Okay, what is the reason behind committing to this play where you wall ride and then you walk into the team and you book the Sigma with no amp? What is the purpose of this?
I can't tell you. There wasn't really a purpose to it.
You were just kind of doing it?
I was just kind of doing it.
Okay, I can appreciate that. I understand. So I think one of the things we need to start establishing is that there needs to be a risk to value calculation that you need to start doing in your head. Like, when you're going for things like this, it should be really simple for you to, right, you just went out, you commit amp, so you don't have amp anymore. You're looking at your team, everything looks to be about fine, you're losing the poke duel a little bit, but that's okay. In this situation, you don't have amp, you're speeding past your entire team, so no one can help you. You're running in front of literally every single member of the enemy team with no amp, so there's no way to get out. And then you're committing your boop, which is your safety cooldown, that's how you get people away from you, or your dueling cooldown, which is how you win a lot of your fights. So now you don't have your escape in your amp or your boop, and you don't have your dueling potential in your boop either, plus you're completely alone and you're in front of everyone. Like, it's situations like these where if you were in a higher rank, you wouldn't even make it to this point where you would boop these guys, you would already be dead. As soon as you turned the corner solo, you would have been helixed, you would have been shot by the Sigma, the Keriko, and the Alari would have been shooting you. You literally would have fallen over and died instantly if you'd done this in a higher elo. But you get away with it because you're silver, right? Which is interesting, because in these lower ranks, a lot of the time, people don't really learn very quickly, because typically the best way to learn is trial and error. But a lot of these cases end up where you trial something, you don't reach failure, so you assume that what you did is correct, when a lot of cases it isn't. Like this, you would absolutely die to anyone like good at the game. But because you've done it, and it worked, you assume, okay, it must be okay, because I would have died otherwise. It's like survivorship bias, right? You assume that because it had worked, that it will work, which is not true. So this play, you would absolutely die. You need to calculate a little bit more how risky something is and how valuable it is, because all you did was make it so that they have to spend an extra half a second walking forward to get back to where they were. Like, you've committed all of this so they can spend half a second walking forward.
Okay. Alright.
Okay. I like the going on heal, but do you know why going on heal here is good?
No, I don't believe I do.
Okay, so you might assume it's because the Sigma's dying, but it's not. It's because your Alari is dying. and your Illari needs help, you're basically never going to help the Sigma. If the Sigma will die, almost guaranteed with what he's doing.
Yeah.
And your heal isn't going to save him. The only person on your team that can actually save the Sigma is the Illari. So switching to heal when she's low HP is good, because it means she's more likely to survive. Now, I don't even think she's over here. I think she's probably over here somewhere, isn't she? Okay, this is a bizarre positioning. So she's not even getting the heal. So the Illari player doesn't even know what she's doing anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But yeah, the Sigma is almost certainly dead. In no world should he ever survive this. But he does. So, okay, so a lot of what you're doing is you kind of just plant your feet in a place, and then you strafe left and right and shoot at their team, and you kind of just poke until something happens. Like, we're a minute and 15 seconds into the game. So far, you've amped once, and you've booped once, and neither of those cooldowns were very impactful, right? If we just speed up a little bit, like, even if you're not necessarily doing the perfect play, going faster in general in these kind of lower ranks is enough to make other people make tons of mistakes that you can exploit, that even if you're not a good player, like, even if you're like a gold player, in these silver games, even just causing people to make mistakes is more than enough to win the game. Because in these kind of ranks, it's not about which team plays better, it's about which team plays less bad, right? So you just make them play bad, and your team will be more likely to win, right? Also, your Illari is kind of trolling, but it is what it is.
This is my favorite part.
Because you're amping heal again, because he's crit. That makes sense, but you should trust your Illari here, because helping the Sigma here is not your job at all. Like, your heals per second on Lucio are not enough for this to be genuinely viable. If you actually needed to save the Sigma's life, you should amp speed, because then he can run to cover or run to his other support, right? But amping heal just means that he's still taking all the damage he's taking, he's just getting an extra 15 health every, like, half a second or something, which doesn't mean anything when they've got Kiriko, Illari, Soldier, and Sigma shooting him. He's still going to fall over and die. So the speed here is almost always correct. Very rarely should you ever be on heal to help someone in, like, a situation where they're dying. If they need help, they need speed, not heal. Basically all the time. I would love for you to try and take a duel. I want to see you fight someone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I didn't take many duels this game because my games have been pretty rough. The past couple of games were pretty rough, and I was kind of dissuaded from doing that.
Okay, that's fine.
Which isn't an excuse, but
no, that's fine.
It's why I was feeling at the time.
Yeah. Tilt queuing. Okay, you shoot the pylon. This is perfect. Great. So good. Okay. Now you should be on speed. And the Suzu is gone. Okay, now it's like prime time. You literally go kill someone. Pylon is on cooldown. Suzu is on cooldown. Now is like the only time against that comp where you're genuinely going to be able to shoot anyone at all. Commit to killing someone. It doesn't matter who. You just go and harass them. Be like a mosquito. Okay, I don't like booping the Sigma because it's pointless, right? Like, he was like literally right here, and then you booped, which is like a 4 or 5 second cooldown. And it moved him from here to here. So you've spent a 5 second cooldown to move him from here to here, which is pointless.
Yeah.
If anything, you made him safer, because now he's even closer to his team than he was before.
Yeah, pushing him towards my team was done.
Yeah, if you were going to boop him, booping him into your team would have been perfect. Yeah. Okay, a lot of amping heal when people are in danger. I think the rule of thumb to take away so far is that when you're committing these kind of cooldowns, like, what does the heal actually do? Right? Like, if you're amping the heal, all it does is make his health go up a little bit faster. But if you're amping the speed, you're making him be able to run to safety. You give him more options, right? He can either commit to going back to his support, closer to his tank, around the cover. Plus, while you're doing that, every single person in your field also gains all of those choices where they're like, if I'm extra fast, I can maybe commit to a play that I wouldn't otherwise. So while in the process of saving the Kree who needs help, you would also be helping everyone else, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so like the thing is, Lucio is a counterintuitive support where you assume you should be healing sometimes because he's AoE, but you should be on speed like 90% of the time usually. Like, there's very rarely should you be on health, like, unless like you're like 50 HP and like you don't have amp and you're in a 1v1. Like it's so difficult to come up with situations where you actually need to be on heal. Lucio is almost entirely always speed, unless you're like 25 HP and you just like need to heal, and you're not like actively fighting someone. Okay, so like now is the time. Like imagine you would speed right now. Like imagine you could amp speed and like your whole team would be totally fine. They'd get away from the Kitsune and they'd get out of this flux. Like if you just had amp, your whole team would be completely fine because they could have got out of this. I mean, like obviously you shouldn't be like right here because this typically on Lucio you're not looking to off angle because your poke isn't threatening enough to do anything. You're just inviting people to come and kill you. You should either be with your team or flanking, never really off angling because you're not dangerous in the off angle. You're only dangerous in the flank because that's when you can close distance on people and actually take a duel and force them to react to you. Otherwise on the off angle you just like stand and shoot them a little bit and they do like 4 damage and like okay, like they don't really care, right?
Yeah.
Okay, your whole team gets grabbed. That's a huge beat. That's actually fat. Okay, you are going into a Kitsune. Like you pop beat. Beat doesn't always mean like go in, right? Like beat can be very let's go backwards, right? Because sometimes you need to go backwards. Like the point of beat is not to enable anything unless obviously like you're coordinating a play with your team where you're saying, okay, we're gonna beat early for whatever reason, right? Generally speaking, the point of beat is to sustain whatever you were doing anyway. Like if you were escaping and you need beat to get everyone out so you can rechal, then pressing beat does not mean re-engage. It means continue escaping, but we now have the sustain to do so. Because a lot of the time, the reason you're going backwards is not because you're low HP. It's one of the reasons, but it's not every reason. Another reason may be you have no cooldowns. Like a lot of your teammates might just have no cooldowns here because they've already used them. And if you pop beat and re-engage, you're engaging into a team with an ult advantage who have their cooldowns available. And your team has no cooldowns. They've only got a little bit of overhealth, which will decay soon. And then it will just go back to being a team with an ult advantage and a cooldown advantage fighting a team with no cooldowns or ults. So they just lose. Right, so you should just continue doing whatever you were doing initially before you beat to keep doing exactly that.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I'm not a big fan of if you're gonna go and boot people into your team, don't go like directly towards them because then they know what's happening. Right? If you wanted to boop the Sigma in, you would go around, like you would flank, so he had no idea, and then you would commit your engage timing to like say like your tank just got his cooldowns back or something. He calmed it in chat like I've rock. Then you would boop Sigma past his shield. He would rock him. Your whole team would just like jump on top of him and kill him, right? But like in this situation, when you speed directly into his team, he sees you. Everyone will just kill you in a higher rank because it's like Lucio trolling. They just shoot you and you die, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think you amped speed there. No, you amped heal. Like, imagine you had amped speed. Like, he might make it out. I mean, probably not. Like, almost definitely not. He probably would have died anyway. But he would have had a greater chance to get behind the shield if you had amped speed.
Yeah.
Okay, I like this. Also, you don't need heal. You're like 190 HP. You should be on speed because make yourself harder to hit, right? But I like that you took the duel there to go save your torp. That's nice. Okay, again, we're committing to a duel through the wrong pathing, so we're just pathing straight into their team to go where we want, so everyone can already see what's happening, right? Keep in mind, like in Silver, people don't really have any object permanence, like at all. If you just go off of their screen, they just assume you don't exist anymore. So if you just go, even on the most simple flank on planet Earth, where people don't see you, you typically get away with literally whatever you want in most cases, right? So if you just committed to going like all the way around this way, you would basically be able to fight anyone you wanted for completely free, and like no one would ever help.
Okay, alright.
Okay, we're breaking the pylon. This is good. This is about the best thing you could probably be doing right now. Okay, we're going straight into the team again. A lot of poking. We are speeding directly into an ulting soldier, and we die. See, like, imagine this soldier, right? This is like literally exactly what it'd be like in Grandmaster. Like, not like if this soldier, let's say the soldier didn't visor for a second, and you had just sped into his team naturally, and he didn't visor here, you would still die this quickly for doing this. Like, you would fall over and die instantly for doing this into the team.
Okay.
Because those higher level players will just rinse you instantly. As soon as they have the opportunity to kill you, they just will kill you because there's no reason not to. That's such a huge advantage. But had you flanked, now obviously he's got visor, like you're going to lose that 1v1 if you take it. But if you flanked, then the soldier never would have known in the first place. And then you can isolate whatever duel you want to take. And even if you're not winning duels, you're burning cooldowns, you're wasting time, you're making people reposition, you're making people turn around. Like, you do so much by going on those flanks, more so than just killing people, right? So we die. It is what it is. Your Torb is dead. You should speed your Torb back. Like, your Alari is just dead now. Like, the fight is lost. It's very lost. There's no reason for you to go and help. Your team should just kill themselves here, because they are already dead. But we're going to try and help the Sigma out. He went the wrong way. You almost died for it. Like, this, you should, okay. You should be very greedy, right? Like, I think my biggest advice so far is you should just be greedy. Like, your team, right now, this Sigma is dead. The Sigma is already dead. As soon as you die, just assume everyone else is dead and just wait and spawn for them to respawn. Unless, like, obviously once you get better at the game, you'll kind of start to realize there's certain situations where that obviously isn't applicable. But, like, in Silver, if you die, the team fight is basically over instantly. So if you die and a teammate dies and, like, another teammate dies, just leave everyone else. Just leave them to die. It's pointless. If you run in there and kill yourself, you put yourself on respawn timer, and you give the enemy ult charge. It is pointless. You're just wasting more time, and you're giving them an advantage by killing yourself. So just be like, I'm sorry, Sigma. You're dead, bro. And if he complains, just, who cares? Okay, I like the switch into speed, though.
The barrier appears.
Killing pylon deployed.
That pylon. Oh. Perfect. Ignore these critical people. It's fine. Your Alari will help them. It's fine. Now we've used Amp again, so we don't have Amp. To Amp speed to get away from a fight if we need it. Still poking. Right, so I think a lot of the reason you lose games is you play very reactive. You're never proactive. You're never really doing anything. You're always kind of reacting to what everyone else is doing. And typically speaking, that means you're going to lose, right?
Yeah.
Whatever team is more proactive tends to win because they dictate what is actually going on. They decide when fights happen, where they happen, how long they'll happen for, when they go in, when they go back, everything. When the ults are used, everything. Proactive teams win like 99% of the time because they're always the ones choosing the pace of the game, and they're always going to pick the pace that best suits them in whatever situation is. Now that's obviously going to differ depending on your rank. Like in gold, like a proactive gold team isn't like pacing the game properly. But like if you think of like a proactive top 500 team, as soon as there's even the slightest inkling of an advantage, they immediately absorb every ounce of advantage they can get out of any fight, and that's typically enough to win in a lot of cases. Where like the reactive team, no matter how hard they try, tend to just lose because it's impossible to predict what a proactive team is going to do because they get to choose whatever happens. And since there's so many variables, it can be impossible to actually understand. Like unless you have like the read, like obviously pro teams can kind of get away with it sometimes, but in most cases they still tend to lose.
Okay, alright.
Okay, your Alari killing the soldier in here is unbelievably good. I would wait for this Kitsune to go away and then immediately go and fight someone. But you are going to go fight someone early. I like the soldier. Don't boop him away. He's in danger, right? He's not just in danger to you. Like, you have a team, right? Look where this soldier is. If you just shoot him and you do, like, let's say half of his health bar, that means you have a Sigma, a McCree, an Alari, and a Torb who just need to hit him once or twice, and he's absolutely dead. But because you speed in here, you do your damage to him. Let's go like slow speeding. You do your damage, and then you boop him away. You're booping him back to safety. Like, look at your Sigma who's chasing him, right? Your Sigma was looking to kill this guy. But because you commit and boop him away, it means that the Sigma who was committing to going for this kill, he already lost half his health. He would have died if you didn't boop this guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta use your boop to make people more in danger, not less in danger. Like, where does the soldier not want to be? That's where you want to put him with your boop. Otherwise, there's like two use cases of boop, really. You either put people in more dangerous positions, or you're booping them in the duel so that their movement is more predictable for your shots so you can land more shots. Outside of like those two cases, there's never really any other time to boop people. So this guy would have absolutely died if we didn't boop him, so that's fine. Okay, now our Larry's dead. Okay, well, as soon as your other support is dead on Lucio, you have to just like call to your team back. You just amp speed and you leave. And anyone who doesn't follow just dies. Because that's their problem. Like the other support is dead, you can't sustain a team on your own. You have to leave. But your Torb gets a kill on the carry co, which is a little unbelievable, but it's good. We instantly start fighting. Okay, well, some rough mechanics, but I do like the fight. I don't like the path we took to get there.
Yeah.
But it is good that you saw an opportunity to take a fight and you went for it. We gotta be on these walls a bit more though, right? Like, you're so much harder to hit the more you're moving around. So that wall ride's great. So do you see how let me actually show you, because it literally worked. So you wall ride around this corner. So you come out at a different angle. And then when you land here, so she misses you because you wall raided. She couldn't predict your movement. And then you wall raid again. Yeah. And then she's already, I don't know if she's reloading. She misses again because obviously you wall raid, so you're moving too fast for her. And then as soon as you get on the floor and you're moving around, she instantly starts like beating the shit out of you in the 1v1 because your movement is too predictable. Had you just started wall raiding and like jumping all over her head, and she's got no idea what's happening, make her whip her mouse all over the place. Go behind her, on top of her, just go wherever she is not looking, because that means you're demanding more mechanics out of her. And as soon as you are making people exert more force to kill you than you're doing to them, you're instantly winning the fight, because you're putting so many moves on them that they're just whiffing anyway, right? So you just instantly win the duel. So as soon as honestly, as soon as I'm at this point, I'm not going for the Salari anymore. I'm going for the wall, because the wall is safety. Anywhere I can go on these walls is instantly safety. Because the thing you have to remember is, when you see a Lucio coming towards you, it's different than what you see as the Lucio player. When you're a Lucio player and you're going, your model is moving all over the place. Like, it's not how you're, like, hitboxes are very rigid, but like the player model is all over the place. So it's so difficult to see what's happening. And if you're bouncing left and right and you're going on the walls and you're going on the wall, off the wall, and then you're on the wall for like a bit, and then you're off the wall again, and then you're crouching, it's impossible to read. So as long as you're just like literally all over the place, it's super easy to win these fights. Because if you go for this wall, she doesn't know if you're gonna wall ride and then wall ride bounce yourself up on top of this high ground. She doesn't know if you're just going to go on it and then fall. She doesn't know if you're going to jump off it. She doesn't know if you're going to fake it. Like, it is so safe to go towards these walls. It gives you such a big advantage. But as soon as you're caught walking on the ground, she instantly starts winning. Like, she probably would have beaten you there if the Sigma Rock didn't kill her. But yeah, I like the wall riding. The more you are on the, think of it on the Lucio. If you're not on a wall, you're not in a good place. You should basically always be on a wall if you can be, because the walls are safety. Okay, here would have been a good time to boop him into your Sigma here. I mean, he's a bit low HP, which is fine, but he's going to throw his shield up, right? Boop him back towards that Sigma, and you're creating everything, because he just loses instantly at that point. But you boop him further away, which works, but, you know, had he had a team, then, you know, just always better to like close the distance on those targets, because they're easier to kill.
Exerting force on the barricade.
In these situations, you can really do whatever you want. Like, the poking is fine, but you've already got ult, so like you kind of so higher level Lucio players here are not looking to poke for ult charge. They're mostly looking to see where people are, right? And they can time their engages, right? So when you're looking here, you know you have the soldier here, you have probably the sojourn here, the Ilari here, and that's the carry back there. And you can be like, okay, so they have all their cooldowns. So going for any of these targets right now is not safe, because they're all together. But let's assume that we know where they want to go. It's a pretty good guess. Like, we can assume where they want to go. In higher level play, this is done all the time, where you're like, the soldier, if he had a choice to be anywhere he wanted to be, he would not be here. There is no world where he would ever actively choose to be here. Therefore, it's pretty safe to assume that he's going to where he wants to go. If you can read where the soldier wants to go, you can meet him before he gets there, and then give yourself a favorable duel on whatever angle you want. So, looking at the soldier, he wants to be on high ground. So he's probably going to go up here, or he's going to go up here. Now, this is silver, so this guy's probably just going to walk around the fucking floor, right? So it doesn't matter. But that's good for you, because then you get the high ground, and you can do whatever you want on the high ground, because it's safer up here, and you have more options. So you can look out and be like, okay, the carry is alone. I can go for the carry. But on the low ground, you don't have that kind of luxury. So I want you to like kind of pace this high ground, protect it, make sure no one goes up here, because it's your high ground. Like as Lucio, you're good at making areas yours. So that right now this high ground is completely yours, and you want to keep it that way. So right now your job is defending this high ground and looking for timing, so you can go, that guy's alone, I'm gonna go fight him, right?
Right. Okay.
I like breaking the railings too. Did that soldier on you slide there? Okay, so she used slide. That's good to remember. I think you notice it too, because you started looking at her. Okay, so your team is starting to walk forward, and you get a pick. Now is like you just pick a target and commit. So this soldier on is user slide. You should go for that. But breaking the pylon here too is perfectly reasonable. Okay, you really have to be taking a fight here though. Like, you have an advantage. You should absorb your advantage by continuing to pressure people. Okay, you're gonna peel for your Sigma, fighting the Sigma on the cart, which is fine. Like, you're bullying the shit out of this guy. He's gonna die. This is fine. I would have preferred for you to go for a squishy, but that's totally fine, killing the Sigma there. Okay, we got some more high ground that we want to conquer. We're gonna take a duel. Okay, a lot of mechanical issues. Okay, what sense do you play on?
What sense? Let me double check.
Okay.
It's not something that I really keep active tabs on. If I'm
Okay.
perfectly honest. Options, controls, 15%.
Do you know your DPI?
No, I don't know my DPI. I have a mouse that changes between DPI, and I'm certain I knew it at some point, but I don't right now.
Okay, so if you're at 15 cents, and we'll assume like your mouse defaults at like 800 DPI, your sense is like 6 centimeter 360, which is absurdly fast. That's faster than what I use, and I use like an absurdly fast sense. So I would consider lowering it a little bit. You don't have to.
Okay.
But if you're gonna keep using the sense, you have to train. Like, you cannot use a sense like this and not actively train it, because your margin for error is so unbelievably small on a sense like this that you're kind of forced into either aiming perfectly, or you like even the tiniest mistake like completely throws you off, because your margin for error is basically zero. So I would suggest lowering your sense, but if you don't want to, I understand. But I would train your aim regardless.
I'll try it out.
Okay. Because a lot of these duels, like, you would have a decent chance of killing this Alari if you had a lower sense. Like, okay, the first shots were good, but these, like, you're literally nowhere near them, and then you're nowhere near them, and then you're nowhere near them, right? Like there's no world you're killing that Alari when you're aiming like that. I like the wall riding around, though. This is super dangerous, though, to walk in a straight line like that in front of the Alari.
Yeah.
You like to go through dangerous areas a lot, which you probably should avoid. Like, when you go across here, this is fine, right? Because you're looking to set up a flank, you're looking to set up whatever you want to do, right? You're looking to see where people are. But as soon as you're in like this situation, like, you've already crossed and you've seen people are here, so you've evaluated like, okay, this is dangerous now. There's people. You cannot recross that, because you will die, and especially this Alari when you're moving in a straight line. A good Alari player here would dome you instantly. It would not even be close. And then you got hit again. Like, you would get double headshot instantly by a good Alari player. And you would die.
Okay.
So crossing dangerous areas is okay to evaluate what's happening, especially after you just win a fight and you want to see where people are. But don't recross it, because people are ready for you to do that.
Okay, alright.
I like the flux. You didn't really need to boop there, but... Is there a reason you booped here? Is it just pure muscle memory? Or are you just booping because you think you should? Or... Like, what is the reason for the boop?
The reason why I boop a lot of times is just because I know that it's not a good idea, but it's more damage. That's what my brain tells me.
That makes sense. Yeah, that is true. It is more damage.
A higher amount of damage being outputted.
That is true. Okay, so the reason you're booping people is because of the damage, which is a good reason, but it's not the reason you should be booping people. Think of the damage as like a bonus to what you already want the boop to do. The boop is first-hand, absolutely, it's a displacement tool. It's entirely used for moving people around. That is its sole purpose. And if you use it like that, you will instantly find more success with it. Instead of the, I'm just going to do it because it's more damage, right? Think of the damage as a bonus. It's not, like, even if it did no damage, boop would still be really useful, right? But when we're using it purely for its damage, we're forgetting about all the other good things we can use it for. So when we're booping this diva, it's pointless. We could just shoot the diva. But if we're booping this diva for, let's say she was actually fighting back, we would want to aim higher in the air, because then she would boop higher in the air, which means she's got more predictable movement, which means you can land more shots on her. The damage you get from the boop is meaningless in that situation. But you're going to kill the diva way more efficiently if you just look to the sky and boop, because that means she'll boop higher in the sky, and then you can just shoot her while she's in the air. Because you know, when you boop things in the air, they have to fall. So you just aim where they're going, and typically you'll kill them. I like using the melee though. You're meleeing a lot, which is good. Did you have a teammate in spawn there? You turned around and saw someone.
Not sure.
Oh no, that's a Torb turret. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
Gonna say if there's a person there, you should go back for him. Honestly, this is fine. I'm fine with what you're doing right now. I would prefer you were on speed, but being on the heal is, it's like marginal at this point, because it's just a poke though. It's Sigma v Sigma. Like it's not like you're doing anything anyway.
Yeah.
I can tell that you want to do things though, because you're like moving around all the time, like you want to do things. Shooting the pylon here is good. Okay, you need to. Okay, yeah, I like the beat, but you need to speed first. Also, little tip, the Torb died because of that. Do not jump before you beat. You see how you wall ride off the wall? And then, like, look how high in the air you are. Like, look how far you have to fall before this beat actually saves anyone. This is a significant distance to go. And had you just, like, it's actually a little beat tech. I can probably show you, like, in the... Just, like, here. If you wanted to boop or beat faster, right? So beat has a couple of properties you should know as a Lucio player. Once you beat, it's not just as soon as you hit the floor, everyone in LOS gets the beat, like health. That's not how it works. Once you beat, those sound waves that come off of you linger. So if you can beat like right here, and then run around the corner afterwards, and then everyone that the sound waves touch as you're peeking them with LOS would gain the overhealth. So you don't just beat and then everyone gets it. It's you beat and then you can move around for a second, and anyone you get in LOS after that who's close enough will get the beat as well. So typically what you want to do as a Lucio player is you want to minimize that jump, because every time you press beat, you manually, or you don't manually, like you automatically jump in the air to beat. So what you can do is once you beat and that jump happens automatically, you can jump onto surfaces higher than where you are. So if you beat here, you would press beat and then you would jump and then you would hit the ground. But if you beat here, you would jump, instantly collide with this edge and beat instantly. So as soon as you heard the Alari thing, a good Lucio player would run up to this thing if he was next to it, press beat, and the beat would pop instantly because he touched this, like the edge of this collision box. It would count as him being on the floor. Everyone beat, and then he would move left and right to gain LOS with people so that his like little sound waves would touch people, right? But instead you like wall right off the wall and do this big arc where, like, you know, I'm pretty sure the Torb actually dies because of this. Oh, your Kree died. You see how if you had not wall right, the Kree would have survived?
Yeah.
I like the
No,
speed
yeah,
though.
I see.
This is perfect. You should speed this like your whole team out here. This is perfect. You don't be on heal, especially when you're like you have 700 HP. You don't need heal. I like the speed though. You should be speeding your team out. This is another situation where you should speed your team out, and if they don't follow, you just leave them to die. Because right now it's already looking pretty bad. Though killing the soldier on here is pretty great. I think there's good chances that your team may actually win this. Okay. Okay, I like the bullying the shit out of the diva. I mean, you are putting her into a place where she's out of LOS. I think that was, honestly, that was well calculated to push the diva into the room so her team couldn't see her.
Thank you. That was one of the times I can clearly remember that there was thought put behind that.
Yeah, that was good. Booping her away from her team was good. I like that. This is the kind of part of the map where you can't really have initiative kind of to do things with Lucio unless you're against like specific comps. Like right now, like there's really nothing you can do on Lucio outside of just purely helping your team. Going for the health pack is good. I like you going back to help your Alari. Okay, this is very good so far. I'm not seeing anything I'm upset with. Perfect. Then you take another fight. Struggling to aim, but that's okay. Dude, honestly, this is the best fight of the game so far. This was very, very good. You were turning around a lot. You were making sure the people behind you were safe. And then when you saw someone who might not be safe, you immediately went to go and help them. This was actually good. You used your boop properly. Perfect. This was actually a very good fight. If you played every fight like this, you would instantly rank up. I like you booping the Reaper away from your Sigma too. That's good. That's a pretty dangerous fight to take, but you could maybe take that. Typically though, when you're fighting Reapers, you don't want to fight them inside, because a good way to fight a Reaper is to wall ride really high up in the wall and then shoot down on them, because they can't do anything about that, right?
Okay, yeah.
So fighting Reapers in rooms tends to lose. Same with like Junkrats. Like whenever you're fighting projectile heroes, depending on which one, like Junkrat as well is a good one, you want to just like wall ride really high up in the air and like just like dart back and forth off the wall, back on the wall, because it's borderline impossible for them to kill you.
Yeah.
It's a bit overzealous, but it's fine. You should speed your team out of this. Oh my god. Okay, you're on heal, but it's okay. You really should have died there. You should have speed your team in, but it's fine. I would say just go on heal here and go and fight someone. Like, the Junkrat is dead. You should probably go win. Okay. Bullying the Diva's good. You get the boosters out. You gotta break this pylon, though. Okay, you do break the pylon. You try. This is a really dangerous way to do this, though. Like, this is a safer way to do this. Instead of, like, going, I need to break the pylon, I'm gonna run right in front of the Diva and the Alari and the Kiriko and the Reaper, where they're all gonna shoot me. There's, like, a much better way to do this. Like, if you just wall right into this building and then back through here, you can shoot the pylon that's, like, literally right here, and then you can just go back. Because you can wall ride, right? Just this only takes, like, 3 seconds for you to go all the way over here, shoot this, and then you can start making your way back. And it's a huge advantage, and it means you're basically not gonna, like, you're essentially unkillable if you do that, and you're guaranteed to get the pylon. So there's no reason to risk your life for the pylon kill here. Amping heal is good. You weren't about to die. In that situation, you don't really have to be scared of the Diva, because the Diva, like, if you're, for example, like this Diva, if she's going for you, like, think of how sustained you are. Like, if you're, the thing is Lucio's tiny, and if people are really close to you, it's really easy for you to just walk left and right, because you can technically wall right on people's hitboxes, kinda. That's why sometimes if we're dueling people, you might, like, get really close to them and jump, and you seem like you jump a little higher than usual. It's because your wall ride is colliding with their actual hitbox, so you get, like, that kind of bounce where you can, like, wall ride on top of people's heads, basically, and you can, like, walk around on their head for a second. So when you're fighting this Diva, you basically just stuff your face directly in front of her. You just walk into her and just walk left and right and jump and wall right on top of her and stand on her head, and you can just shoot her forever and she can't do anything. And if you ever do start losing, you just amp speed and run away, and she can't chase you unless she commits boosters. And if she does, she's never going to catch you anyway, because as soon as you're here and you wall right off this thing, you're straight back into your team, and she's committed cooldowns to help you. So in this 1v1, you're actually at a pretty good advantage of just, like, eating all of her time.
Okay.
Oh, we're in third person? What the fuck happened, yo? Oh, we fixed it.
There we go.
You should peel this Reaper off your team. Yeah, I like this. Oh, you fight him too? perfect. Honestly, you couldn't have played it better. That's perfect. No point amping heal. Should be on speed. Kill the carry. Fighting the alert. Honestly, the last minute of that game was fantastic. That was honestly near perfect. I would say that was about as close to perfect Lucio play as you could get in the last minute. That was very, very good. However, the other 7 minutes, obviously you make like a lot of mistakes, but and you see how in the last minute of the game you were far more proactive. Like you were the one doing things and people were reacting to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you fought the diva. You pushed her into the room and killed her. You peeled for your Alari and killed whatever the fuck the guys, you know? Like, you're the one that's deciding to go places and do things. And when you're doing that, you're way more successful. Unlike, like, earlier in the game, like, we can probably skip to, like, any random part where you're just, like, doing stuff, where you're just kind of waiting around for things to happen, right? Like, you see how you're just kind of walking around waiting?
Yeah.
Like, you're not really doing anything. But as soon as you start being, like, proactive and doing things, you just instantly start killing people. Like, you're forcing cooldowns, you're doing damage, you're breaking the pylon, you're making people look at you. This was a little iffy, but it is what it is. This is a good cooldown usage. You bully the shit out of the diva for a bit. This is good. This is good. You're paying attention to your team. You instantly peel the Reaper and you kill him. It's perfect. Okay, I would say you should turn around more. You don't, like, a lot. Something you'll realize about really high level support players is they'll spend like half the game spinning in circles, just looking everywhere, because you have to pay attention to everything, right? So just constantly, like, if you're not actively doing something, you should be like looking all around you and making sure like everything's fine, because your job to make sure things are okay. Dude, this was good. This was really good. This last minute was so good. I'm actually so impressed with how you played in this last minute.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that.
Nice, dude. Okay. Perfect. Dude, that was sick. Okay. I think we come away with this knowing a few things. You should be more proactive. You should spin around more, see what's actually going on. Shouldn't use your boop cooldown for damage. You should reevaluate how you're pathing, so like how you're going to where you want to go. It's not just about where you want to go, it's about how you get there. That's important as well. So like you don't want to like run through the enemy team all the time. You want to take a different route. And I think we've learned how you play with and against team comps that aren't very good for Lucio. Like in this specific situation, Lucio is a horrible choice. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't play Lucio. That just means that just changes how you're gonna play Lucio, right? So picking Lucio's here, it's fine, but you're gonna have a really hard time. Okay, that was a good session. That was good. That was very good.